Greetings and salutations, YouTube. My name is Etchy Charmed, and today we'll be doing a video talking about the Muse of Time. The Muse is the passive counterpart to the Lord, and coincidentally, the most passive of all classes. However, being passive doesn't necessarily mean you stay on the sidelines while everyone else has all of the fun. No. Similar to Calliope, the Muse of Space, the Muse will appear where and when needed, using their multiverse-affecting influence to shape, twist, bend, and warp reality around them, for better or worse. One benefit from being away from all of the action, at least until the final act, is that it gives the Muse more than enough chance to gather and chronicle whatever information they need, and, as we all know, knowledge is not only power, but half the battle. A Muse could be a beam of positivity and friendliness, more than eager to help whomever they can, or they can be a cold force of justice that seeks to do whatever it can for the sake of the big picture, rather than acknowledging the happy little trees that make up said picture. An example for the Muse would be Nereus from Granblue Fantasy, specifically from the Navis arc of events. Nereus is definitely one of the most passive and calculating characters in that event, if not the most so, wields seemingly absolute knowledge and even control of her subject of interest, in her case, horoscopes and anything related to them, and when she made her big move at the end of the latest event in that arc, no spoilers here, it had devastating effects that we don't fully know of at the moment. Time is the inverse of space and has to do with time itself, destruction, the end, death, destiny, music, and repetition. Time players usually have a construct called the, Scratch construct on their planet that allows them to initiate the Scratch, a kind of hard reset for sessions that are basically screwed over. All time players also have some kind of power with time travel, so there's that as well. Time players may also be responsible for the assistance in breeding a successful Genesis frog / new universe, and might possibly have Hephaestus as their denizen. According to the Extended Zodiac, the time-bound are fighters that resist whatever is thrown their way, which results in their lives being filled with struggle. They much prefer action over passive acceptance, achieving the impossible through non-traditional and unconventional ways. At their best, the time-bound are empathetic and relentless problem solvers. At their worst, they are ruthless, defensive, and impulsive. Now for the Muse of Time themselves. While the Muse of Space is capable of creating her own safe haven anywhere she can imagine, the Muse of Time is capable of creating her own safe haven any when, dipping in and out of timelines to not only evade danger, but to also converse with allies. And possibly enemies too, if feeling daring enough. I don't know. I won't judge. However, the Muse of Time isn't just some playful minx or time-hopping trickster. No. Almost every action she takes is a move, great or small, towards checkmate. For they see Paradox Space as a giant checkerboard, looking far, far beyond the minuscule battle between Prospit and Durst. They're willing to take whatever sacrifices are needed in order to achieve victory, both of their pawns and themselves, while also using and abusing whatever method, traditional or not, in order to get to that finishing move. What's an arm, leg, or even an eye if victory means holding reality in the palm of your hand? Although, a Muse of Time could also be a very potent support for the main cast of heroes and non-heroes, appearing here and whenever a friend is in dire need, and willing to make just as many sacrifices as the previous example of a Muse of Time in order to help. For their powers and abilities, with time travel being part of the time-bound starter pack, obviously, the Muse of Time would play like trap characters from fighting games like Ultimecia and the Emperor from the good Dissidia series, but especially the former, using a mixture of time travel and even time freezing in order to leave traps in the past, present, and future to throw off enemies. The Muse of Time would likely be naturally calm and diabolically clever, so staying on your toes and doing your best to throw them off instead would be the key to victory. And I believe that's all I have to say on the matter. If you've enjoyed this video, then please like and share it. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, hit the bell, and leave suggestions in the comments below. Also, this is my first time covering the Muse class, so any constructive criticism would be appreciated. My next video will be on the Page of Life, so I hope you'll look forward to that one. So with that, I bid you dudes, dudettes, and others adieu. Bye!